Okay, so I'm back on my bullshit, and I actually took this deck to locals. It's pretty much the same profile that I showed last week, but I have a better understanding of how this deck works out in reality. First off, I mean, you have to understand that it is like, don't overhype yourself. It is a slow deck, and it is heavily reliant on a couple things. But I'm going to talk about that kind of stuff as I work through the profile, as I kind of tend to do. I think front loading this kind of conversation is going to lead to people not totally understanding where I'm coming from. But I also have some better ideas of how I want to change the deck in the future. This is what I took to the game, not necessarily where I think the deck is at its best, because I want to take this to a couple more tournaments and work it out better. So I played 2 Cerulean Sacred Phoenix. Not necessary. This card is good. It's fine. It's going to be... you're able to search it out for free during your combos. It's actually good fire target to search in a couple instances. This is a good card. Don't play it at 3. This card isn't going to be winning you any games. It just simply is not. This card is not going to be the reason that you win anything. It's going to definitely help push. It's going to be a good support card, support damage, support. So one of the people in my comment section linked me to a video, another deck profile, where a guy referred to this card as crowd control, and that's simply not what crowd control is. This is problem solving. This is a problem solving card. Yes, it floats, but the fact that it can pop a bunch of cards, that is problem solving. Crowd control is when you actively inhibit your opponent's movement and momentum. That's what crowd control is. This is not a quick effect. All this is a big push that can honestly come back very easily. So if you summon it and need to pop it with, say, Diagram or any of the True Kings, then you are making your plays as efficient as you can. But I never found it to be necessary at 2. I definitely wouldn't find it necessary to be at 3. This is, if you played at 3, honestly, you're asking to lose some games. 1 is necessary. I found myself siding it out a couple times. I never found myself begging for the third one, or even for the second one. However, I did find myself begging for the second actual Sacred Phoenix. This is necessary at 2. Sorry, not 3. Do not play 3. But the thing is, when you're in the depths of your plays, you are likely going to use one of these to ritual summon one of these guys, and you're going to want to destroy the other one. That is the ideal version of your play, which honestly, if you're playing at a rogue level, you're going to be getting off more often than I think you'd expect, but only if you are keeping this deck as efficient as you possibly can. The plays that this deck can make, and I'll show it at the end here. I didn't do that last time I recorded this, which is why I'm redoing it. The main play that you want to be able to make is going to... it's going to set you up for some really cool stuff. And it's not just like... I play this because I really like the art of the archetype and I like how it works, but I didn't want to just devote myself to the archetype. I wanted to make this deck as strong as it possibly could be, and that meant making some sacrifices. Definitely 3 Devotee, though. Another LA Devotee is going to start a lot of plays off and get you rolling. Having 3 of it, I went through all 3 of it in one game. I summoned one early on, and later on in the game, I used one to summon the other. That was a really weird game. So I can't imagine you're going to be doing it that much, but simply the fact that it's easily searchable, with cards like Disciple, I think validates playing it at 3, because it's also like very easily used material. And the fact that it actually recurs itself, I found to be more applicable than I thought I would. That was surprising. It's actually part of the main combo of this deck, which is really, really cool. 3 Disciple, it gets plays going that may not otherwise. Theoretically, you could play it at just 1 or 2, because you're going to be summoning it from the deck more often than you're going to be normal summoning it. But that just kind of depends on like how you draw. I would definitely prioritize other normal summons over this, just because this isn't a plus. This keeps you even in card advantage. And after that, it really doesn't do anything. I only used its search effect once. The sorry, this Destruction Search effect once. I used the Pop effect multiple times because you summon from the deck. 3 Rebirth, obviously. If you're questioning that, you shouldn't be playing any Ritual deck. Excuse me. And then True Kings. Okay, so I do believe that I was correct with my original ratios for True Kings. This is the most efficient that this package can be. Playing 3, excuse me. This is really good for aggressive pushes. If you're going second, I would really like to have this in hand more often than not, or at the very least, like summon it with this. I don't know. But more than that, if you are going second, you do not want to have this in your deck. You want to side this out if you can, because it does not do anything. It just plain doesn't. Yeah, it can set you up for an Agnimazad push, but just that isn't going to get you anywhere. It just doesn't do enough if you're going second. If you're going first, then again, it is absolutely amazing. It guarantees you VFD if you draw it with Draconic Diagram. That is, or with any other wind monster. That is stellar, but I don't know. I still think this is the best way to play this engine. Yeah, it's not a package. It is an engine because it gets plays moving. That sorry, not it gets plays moving, but it gives you stall power, actual crowd control that the deck needs in order to catch up to where other decks are normally because it's so slow. It slows down the pace of the game to a point where the deck actually functions really, really well for what it is. And I am utterly convinced that this is the perfect ratio to play for this engine. If you are at all interested, if you are interested in playing these two, then you need to be playing 2 of each of these. There's no, you don't play 1 of each unless you're siding out cards for, extra stopping power or extra problem solving. There are some decks that really only want to be playing stuff that searches from the deck. They don't recur at all. They don't care about recursion. Those decks usually aren't that good, but I mean, Chaos Max exists. Chaos Max isn't going to be playing Pencil Plume or Bookstone. It's just not. However, if you are interested in recursion and playing a resource game, which any grind deck like Nephthys will, then this is the perfect way to play this, because even the chances that you draw 2 Talismandra are really just astronomically low. And the chances that you draw, what was it? Sorry. If you draw, for example, Talismandra and Pencil Plume or Candle and Bookstone without having the applicable thing or Manju, those are also pretty low. That did happen to me today, but it's not it's not a statistical significance that should impact how you build this. This is the perfect ratio for the incantations, especially when you're trying to play a resource game. Manju makes the incantations actually perfect. If you're not playing Manju, then you are losing out on some of the most insane resource advantage gain that you can get in this deck, because you want to start making plays that actually get you somewhere on the first turn. If you're not doing that, then you're not playing any deck correctly. It's not about if you're trying to make this deck as efficient as possible, as good as you can make it, then I guess if you're not trying to do that, then I guess Manju's not necessary. But if you're trying to make this deck actually play, you need Manju. There's no question. Well, and okay, actually, I should probably directly respond. I'll actually link to it down below, so you can go and check it out for yourself. Maybe evaluate what he says for yourself. But he said that he didn't want to commit his normal to a Manju that doesn't get you Nephthys plays. And that doesn't make any sense to me, because simply by having access to Devotee, you are making Nephthys plays. This gets you to those plays. If you're not playing this, you're playing almost any ritual deck incorrectly. It's just it's necessary. I play 2 Ash Blossom. Whatever hand trap works. If you can find a way to fit more hand traps into this deck, then fucking good for you, because I struggled a bit. Not that I have that many hand traps, I'll be honest. I'm a budget bitch that got these at $13 a piece from rest in peace fucking YGO Sinkles. They had these on 13 apiece on the first round of purchase availability, and I picked those up in a heartbeat. Pre-preps, play it. One preparation. This isn't a necessary card because this doesn't get you new plays. This gets you deeper into plays you're already making and lets you gain resources that help you like flesh out a full turn. But it doesn't actually like make a turn in and of itself. I don't know if I'd call it a win more card, but it certainly starts to fall under that category. I don't think it's necessary, but it's definitely a good option. I only played one of it because I took the other out for I took the second preparation as well as chronicler out for the hand traps. And so honestly, if you want to talk about the extra deck, literally all you need 2 of this. That's literally all you fucking need. You're going to be playing other stuff. Obviously, you have a 15 card extra deck. So at that point, just plug whatever fucking money cards you want into it. The Nightmares, getting into this in Griffin wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't have Griffin. What was it that I played? I played fucking 2 of this. Played the Nightmares. I played one of the Nephthys Sacred Flame just for, aesthetic's sake. I never summoned it. Do a little Chimera, Underclock Taker, just whatever fucking shit you're throwing in there. It doesn't, honest to God, matter that much. If you have money, use it. If not, oh well. I'm playing fucking Power Code Talker. I actually played this and it won me a game, which is really weird. Someone dropped a Cyber Valley on me, and I knew that if I let him continue to stall, he was playing Cyber Dragons, that he would just honestly just kill the fuck out of me. So Power Code Talker was honestly not a bad option. Obviously, the deck can't play fucking, goddammit, Utopia the Lightning. So this was like kind of not a terrible substitute, honestly. It's got a preemptive Archimedes and does 46 instead of 5,000. It's not that bad. And actually, like, it worked well because like I used Disciple to summon this, and then summoned Disciple underneath it. It was just a really, really efficient play. I was really happy with that. It's not that's not like a competitive card. I'm not recommending it, but I mean, if you have it and you don't have anything else, I'd actually would recommend playing it. Okay, so I think what might be most valuable. I mean, I don't really think anyone gives a fuck about my side deck. I'll just give you a quick glance. You can take a look at it yourself. Like, side deck is like, this deck's never going to go beyond a local, so just side for your locals. Do what you need to do. I'm going to quick set this down, and I will come back with a test hand. Okay, so this hand, this is literally the first one, I promise. You can believe me or not, but this is actually representative of really what you want to be able to see in this deck. I'll play through this real quick, as quick as I can, and show you really what I want to be doing. I'm only working with one hand, so be patient. Manju, you have Talismandra, so you're going to be grabbing a Ritual Monster. I can't read. There we go. Devotee of Nephthys. You're going to activate Talismandra. Reveal. Summon fucking Candle. There we go. Candle's going to grab you a ritual spell. Okay, I'm going to pause this and actually like set up this turn properly so it goes quickly. Okay, I don't exactly remember where I was. I remember we summoned these two and searched out, we had Rebirth. We searched out whatever we needed, and searched the other one with, so we got these both to our hand with the incantations and the Manju. From here, we're going to Diagram. Diagram is going to, I don't want to angle this, is going to pop the Candle and add Mariamne to hand. Rebirth is going to sack the Talismandra for Devotee. Devotee is going to activate and summon Disciple from deck. Disciple is going to activate, pop Mariamne, and search out. It actually, I don't think it really matters what you end with. I would prefer to go after another of the ritual spell. It kind of depends how deep we want to get into this. And then the Mariamne got popped, so it's going to add a Barastos to hand. We have Agnimazad, a fire, and Barastos in hand, so we're going to activate... we can save that for later. We don't have to do it now. But these matter. This doesn't. That's just kind of going to sit in our hand. These are going to link, get us into Nephthys, Sacred Preserver. Activate effect is going to add... here's the thing. You can either go for Cerulean, Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys, or just Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. I think it's better to go for this one, but we'll go for this. Oh, I had the backwards. My grave in my deck. My bad. Did I? No, I didn't. Cool. Sorry. So now you have these two in your hand, and you then want to go for the pop these two with Agnimazad. Barastos is going to summon another Mariamne. Because you still want to leave the other fire in your deck for recursion later, just in case. It's just not probably going to matter, but it's the most beneficial strategy. Now here you could, in theory, go for VFD. Honestly, probably would have been better just to go this way, over here. That way you still have one left out. There it is. There it is. You can bring back Devotee and go for, like, swap out Devotee for another one of the monsters. I don't think it matters that much, honestly. You could, in theory, go for, like... honestly, I don't fucking know. But you've popped a... Here's the thing, is you have this on your field, and you've popped this. So this is going to be coming back next turn. And you can destroy this or this. I don't know, you have ways to go about doing your shit. And that is, honestly, the most important thing out of anything. And yeah, it did take your entire hand to do that, which is A, why this is a rogue deck, and B, why it's not, like, super resilient to like a lot of hand traps. But, I mean, it's what the deck wants to do. We're talking about what the deck wants to do. And that's it. You were able to clear off your incantations. You were able to do the important shit. And I feel like if you're angling yourself towards anything else, you're simply, like, the end state boards simply aren't as good. You're not going to be OTKing with this deck, so there's no point in going second. You're going to have trouble playing into a lot of floodgates that exist. You're going to have trouble, like, out-resourcing any decks that want to go first. Like, any deck that wants to go first focuses on generating advantage upon advantage upon advantage, which is how I oriented this deck. Any deck that wants to go first is going to inevitably be a better deck than this deck can be going second, or going first and not slowing your opponent down enough. So I feel like this is the best way to go about it. There have been a couple things I've wanted to try. For example, I want to run a glow up bulb somewhere in this deck. So, like, if I draw it and can pop it with a True King, then I have the potential later on to go into Cloud Castle to summon back a True King from the grave, and either then go into a rank 9 and either continue to slow down the game so that I can pick back up, or to go into Enter Blathnir and deal with the problem. I'm honestly not sure that would be worth it, but it's definitely something I've been considering. Anyway, if you're playing this deck, you need to understand how slow that Nephthys is. And you need to be able to slow down your opponent. Maybe the way to do that is Floodgates. I don't think that's as fun. But, like, it's not like anyone likes staring down a VFD, but at the very least, if you're playing this with VFD, I don't know, you're not going to see the temple in your opponent's brain, in your opponent's forehead burst because they realize, oh, they're just slapping in a slow deck with some floodgates. This deck, you need to understand combos. You need to understand how to get to what your end board should be. It takes actual understanding, which is why I feel good about this deck and why I feel like if you're playing this deck and you're not understanding it, then you're doing yourself a disservice and you're not actually going to be having the kind of fun that I think you could be having. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. That's 20 minutes of me bullshitting. I hope y'all have a good day. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I mean, everyone says that, but actually, like, I do read that, and it does matter a lot to me what people say. I re-recorded this because I wanted to more accurately explain myself in response to a video that I watched. I've seen almost every Nephthys deck profile that's been posted on YouTube, and a couple ones on Reddit. And I just haven't seen anything that has impressed me. This deck, how I've constructed it, honestly, how it performed today, regardless of the fact that I went 1-3. You know, I went up against Rongo Turbo, I played against True Draco, like, and I played against Mech Knight Invoked. Like, I'm gonna struggle. Like, that didn't feel bad to lose against meta. It would have felt bad if I had not done my best to construct the deck in a way that would get me a playable deck. Which I did. I mean, even against True Draco, there was a give and take. It was 1-2 against True Draco. Granted, it was the side deck that won me the game. It was fucking Waking the Dragon. But, I mean, had I, like, summoned Nephthys game 3, I would have won that handily. If I had summoned... if I hadn't fucked up playing VFD, I would have beaten the Rongo Turbo deck. Like, you can definitely have a lot of fun at a locals with this deck, and I think that you should. I think you should try it out. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later.